Welcome to another episode of The Arena, a show about real estate, finance, and the boots on the ground making it happen every day. This market is a battle, and we want to bring you people that are going to help you fight and win that battle. And today, you're going to love it. This is going to be an amazing podcast. I've been so excited about this guest. I'm not going to tell you who yet, but someone who has been in the business for over 10 years, has over 50,000 followers on social media, and is very active on that every single day. Mother of two with a baby boy born 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And runs her own team, which we're going to get into. I want everyone to welcome Nicole Neff.
Thank you for having me. So excited to be here. Thank you for the kind words.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome. I'm finally getting some sleep at night with the 2-month-old. So
Well, we've been talking about this for a while, but
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I'll let her have the baby and get past the first few weeks.
Yeah, I'm
at
feeling
least.
human again. So I'm happy to be here.
Well, and tonight's a big night, right?
Yeah. Me and my fiance are going out, just us two, for the first time since, I want to say like March of last year.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, because you weren't drinking. You
No.
weren't,
This is our first night out, like proper night out. So
That's amazing.
yeah, I'm excited.
And where are you going?
We are going to the city. So I love a boozy dinner. So we're going to do some cocktails, and then we're going to do a boozy dinner at Uchi. It's like a new sushi spot that opened in Rittenhouse. I feel very what's it been? It hasn't even been a year, but I feel very out of the loop with all of the new restaurants and things that have
They're popping up
opened.
everywhere.
Yeah. And
So wait, you're doing booze and sushi, two things you probably couldn't do a lot of.
yes, exactly. So this is like such a celebration.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and being able to juggle, and that's why I was excited for you to come on, because you were juggling so much, and there's a lot of people in real estate or looking to get into real estate that think like, how could I do it?
Yeah.
But here you have now your daughter, your son, marriage takes a little bit of work. Sometimes we need attention too.
Yeah.
But also juggling with the team, real estate. And then another thing that is probably not recognized too often is the social media part of things. And social media is amazing because it's free for the most part, unless you're running ads.
Yeah.
But it's not free in the sense that it takes a lot of time and investment.
Yeah.
So one of the quotes that you had recently was, there's no school or nothing in school that teaches you how to buy a house.
Yep.
So it seems like you're pretty passionate about of trying to educate.
Yeah, yeah. And I love social media because it is, it makes real estate accessible for people, right? Without the pressure. I just want to make it approachable.
Yeah.
Right. So I show up, and I don't like to call my followers. I feel like we're a community. Right. And I like to show up and educate, and they take what they want, leave what they don't. But it makes it more approachable and less scary. And it also, motivates people to buy a house, or to even, start the process of thinking about buying a house. Oh, I didn't know if I could do this. And yeah, you can.
Well, and that seems to be the theme about a lot of your content. And how do people follow you? What's your name on Instagram?
Nikki Sells NJ.
Nikki Sells, NICC.
2 C's, yeah.
So it just seems like right now you have this thing on social media, in media in general, and this theme of everything's too expensive. A lot of people like to use superlatives and just blanket statements and saying, I'll buy a house one day, not now, because everything's too expensive. When things settle down, calm down, rates come down, house values come down. It always seems like there's this mythical time when it's going to be a perfect time for these people to buy. And I just wanted to hit that right on the head, because that, I think, is what people are most worried about. When is it a good time to buy?
The best time to buy a house is yesterday. Always. I've been doing this for 10 years. I don't know, if you've seen differently than me, but I've never seen home prices come down.
No.
Hindsight is 2020. I have buyers from 2 years ago. We were looking and they called me back and, they took a break. They were frustrated. They called me back. Oh, I wish I would have done it 2 years ago instead of taking a break. We're also in a market and in an area that lends itself to appreciation. We are cushioned by New York City. We are, Philadelphia, DC, Baltimore. We're cushioned by these large metro areas. So, yeah, I hate to break it to you, but South Jersey is going to continue to be a hot market.
Yeah, we were talking about this off camera, and I saw a stat not long ago, and it was in the last 50 years. They said 70, but let's say 50. In the last 50 years, real estate's only depreciated 1 year, one time.
Yeah.
And that was between 08 and 09.
Yeah.
And that was, by the way, sorry, I kind of half created that. I was giving out mortgages I probably shouldn't have, but I'm sorry, I just wanted to move out of my mom's house. But no, I mean, back then, anybody could have got, my dog could have gotten a mortgage.
I don't think people realize that is why we saw, the depreciation in 08 and 09. It was a mortgage thing. It was people biting off more than they could chew, and there was way less strict guidelines on who could get a mortgage and how much they could get, and things went south.
Yeah,
right?
If you want to know about it, you could watch a movie called The Big Short.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie. That kind of explains it. But in a nutshell, people were coming to me that had no business buying a home. Or maybe they could have afforded a home, maybe a $250,000 home. But because the financing was so easy, they were pushing themselves. We had loans that would give you a 1% interest rate. But the problem is the real rate was a lot higher than that. Mm-hmm. So imagine every time you made a mortgage payment, it actually added to your mortgage balance. Mm-hmm. And every month you owed more and more and more. It was called negative amortization. Mm-hmm. And that is the reason loans like that, well, it all collapsed. But out of the ashes rose this great, finally regulation and everything. So anybody that owns a house now probably should own that house.
Absolutely. It's not easy to get a mortgage, right? I have, buyers that are frustrated in the process because they're like, oh my gosh, they want my grandmother's social. I mean, they don't really want that, right? But you guys do your homework. You're not giving out loans to anyone. Anyone who is buying a home can afford it. There's ratios that need to be hit. Right. You're doing your homework. You're checking everything to make sure that they're going to be able to afford this house long term.
So New Jersey, interesting enough, and we lend in like 40 some states. So I see all the programs, is probably one of the best states for first time home buyers. And I know that you have a first-time, or you have a buyer's guide, right?
Absolutely, yes. I have a first-time home buyer's guide. I have a 2026 home buyer's toolkit. I have a lot of educational tools that are available through my Instagram for first-time home buyers, and I do include some literature on the first-time home buyer grants that are available to people in New Jersey.
Yeah, and there's state grants, there's county grants. So if they want to download that guide, what's the best way to do it?
Go to my Instagram, go to my link in bio, or you can go ahead and comment grant below this clip, and I will send it right over to you.
So speaking of timing and when is it going to be time for someone to pull the trigger and buy a house, let's talk about renters.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're getting squeezed right now.
Of course.
And their rent goes up every month. It's harder for them to save up money. They're watching houses appreciate and become more expensive. But there is a program that we have that definitely worth mentioning. And renters get kind of nothing, but this is at least giving them something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think this is amazing. I've never seen a mortgage company roll out something like this. So you're rewarding renters.
Rewarding renters.
So how are you rewarding them? Is it like a monthly?
Yeah.
Every time they pay their rent?
You register.
Okay.
And then you put in what your rent is.
Okay.
And then every month you get 5% back on what you're already paying for your monthly rent. And then on top of that, You can set a budget. You can check your credit, which just like Credit Karma doesn't
Yeah.
hurt your scores, but it's the actual credit score that lenders check, not the Credit Karma score, which everyone always
Yeah.
checks and they're wondering why it changes when a
Yeah.
lender checks it. So every time they do something to prepare to buy, it rewards them $100 here, $50 there. And so between that and between just paying their rent on time, by the time they're ready to buy, they have several $100s in order to apply towards that new home.
Yeah. And that's free money.
Free
And
money.
we all know houses aren't cheap.
Yeah.
Right?
Every little bit
aren't-
helps.
Yes, houses aren't cheap, and that's free money.
And that can be combined with a grant.
Absolutely. And that's one of the best ways to prepare for buying a home that I've ever heard offered. So that app is absolutely amazing. What's the name of that app?
So it's actually called the Maximus Renter Rewards app. And we've collaborated with the Neff Group. So if you want that Renter Rewards app, what do they do?
So just comment below, comment rent below, and I will go ahead and send you that app. It's free, and it's free money. Who doesn't want free money towards buying a house?
That's right. All right, I'm going to hit you with some top 5 questions right now.
Okay.
I'm going to have you rank some things here. So first, I think that you have a unique perspective. You're all over the place. Most people, they grow up in one town and they love that town and they maybe know the surrounding towns, but
Yeah.
okay, you see them all.
Yeah.
So I want to go and rank your top 5 South Jersey towns to live in and tell us what your number 1 is.
Okay. So I'm going to start from 5 and I'm going to make my way down.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
hear it.
So 5, I'm going to go Marlton. Okay. Marlton is, you don't ever need to leave Marlton. Everything is at your fingertips. Everything's there. You've got the promenade, which I love.
Shopping.
All the shopping, all the food. I also love like the vibes in Marlton, the people moving into Marlton, young families
Good
and
schools.
great schools. So yeah, Marlton number 5. I would absolutely live in Marlton happily. Number 4, I'm gonna go Haddon Township. I love Haddon Township. It's an extension of Haddonfield without the Haddonfield prices and taxes, right? So love
that.
Haddon Township. Also has that like really cute small town vibe feel. Number 3, and I think this town is so underrated, is Audubon.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going to go Audubon. Again, small town vibe. It has like a little commercial corridor downtown with really good restaurants that I love and a really great coffee shop that I love. Also, a lot of young people moving in, and the houses have like that charm,
Up and coming and probably not as pricey.
Yes, Audubon is having, I think it's in its glow up moment. Yeah, it's in its glow up moment. But yeah, Audubon is such a good choice for first time home buyers or for, young couples just trying to start out, or maybe 1 kid, 2 kids. Just a great town. Number 2, I'm trying to think about what my number 1 would be.
I know you've been going back and forth.
I know. Gosh. So number 2, I'm going to go Pittman. Again, and this is
bold statement. Okay,
this is
I like
my opinion. This is my opinion because I enjoy a walkable, small town feel, lots to do, right? So Pittman offers that. So much to do, restaurants.
I can see it. I've been down there a lot lately.
Yeah,
It's
shopping, small biz vibes, and also like a real sense of community in Pittman. People who live in Pittman love Pittman, and it seems like they really look out for each other. And
That's something you don't get a lot of these days.
yeah, all that good stuff.
And now, drum roll. What is the number 1 town in South Jersey?
Number 1 town in South
To live in.
Jersey to live in, and this will come at no surprise, is Cherry Hill. Cherry Hill, the hub, right? The central hub of South Jersey. Like, I like to call it the heartbeat of South Jersey, right? Easy access to Philly. Everything you need is here. Easy access to everywhere, right? I mean, Cherry Hill is the heartbeat
We're
of
in
South
Cherry Hill
Jersey.
right now.
We are in Cherry Hill right
It's
now.
great. It's huge.
Amazing schools, huge, everything you could ever need. And yeah, you've got every demographic and, diverse, right?
It really has it all.
Yeah, it really has it all. I have no complaints.
And that's it. That is the final list that will ever be of the top 5 towns to live in South Jersey. There's no argument there.
Yeah.
That is the top 5.
That's it.
All right, so I want to do a game right now where we're going to go what's in and what's out.
Okay.
So I'm going to name things, and you're going to tell me, is it in, is it out?
Okay.
Going into 2026.
Okay.
Again, you see all these beautiful homes, you're hundreds and hundreds of homes you get to see.
I show a lot of homes. Yeah.
Yes. So, and again, you go on your Instagram, you're touring these houses constantly. So, all right. Second living rooms.
In. That is a major in. And that is because people are needing playrooms, believe it or not. As a mother of 2 young toddler and a newborn, I have a lot of toys in my house.
Yeah, where are you going to put it?
And I mean, and they're not pretty, right? The Barbie dream house is, this big. It is hot pink. I mean, I'm tripping over Barbies constantly, and I don't want that in my living room, right?
It's almost like a playroom.
Yeah, it's overstimulating. I don't want to look at it. So a lot of home buyers are wanting that second space to stash the toys, somewhere where the kids can play so that they can have a living room that is peaceful for them.
So second living space, that is in.
Yes.
Pools.
Pools are out. Pools are so out.
Bold statement.
Bold statement. But yeah, pools are out, right? Pools are expensive to maintain, right? And we live in South Jersey. We are an hour or less from the shore. Why do we need a pool in the summer? We're going to go down the shore. We're going to be laying on the beach. There's so many new hotels and resorts popping up along the shoreline with pools, right? So
And there's community pools.
Absolutely. And amazing swim clubs, right? So yeah, pools.
So save your money, put it in a second living room or playroom.
Yeah, pools out.
All right. Something that I know people talk about a lot, and especially COVID, but is having the home office still in or out?
A home office is essential. And what's great about the home office is a lot of buyers can get creative with what a home office means, right? A basement space can be a home office. An additional bedroom can be a home office. Sometimes like a sunroom, an all seasons room can be an office. But an office is still very important because I still have a lot of home buyers that are working from home and they want that space to be able to work efficiently.
Big bedrooms.
Big bedrooms are out. Bedroom sizes, they don't matter so much anymore because we're not raising bedroom kids, right? People are gathering in the communal spaces in the home, right? We love an open layout. We love a big island and a big kitchen. We love the 2 living spaces now, right? So families are hanging out in the family room, not so much in their bedrooms anymore.
All right. This has been the hot topic lately. Millennial gray and whitewash, that whole look, that white look.
Yeah, totally out. Totally out. We don't love millennial gray anymore, where everything is the same exact color. Neutral is, I love neutral, but it's not so much in anymore. We want homes to have some personality now.
So, colors and personality.
Yeah, I feel like the trends that I'm seeing are like bold light fixtures, bold vanities, and bold tile, and colors, not even so much on the cabinets, but colors in accent walls. And I think that people are wanting their homes to have a little more personality these days.
Love that. So colors are in.
Colors are in.
I love that. Think about in the 70s and 80s, color, everything was like
green carpets. That was all the rage.
the shag.
Yeah, and now I think the neutral mixed with a little bit of color. I think it's the best. The trends are the best they've ever been.
Love that. So let's go back into real estate for a second on just strategizing here.
Okay.
I had somebody yesterday call up and they were just really concerned because they don't have a lot of buying power. And they grew up in a certain neighborhood, a certain town, and in their mind, and I think they watch a lot of HGTV, if I'm being honest, and in their mind, they want to be in one of these beautiful homes, right? And so it's just not based on their numbers. It's not going to happen unless mom or dad step in and they co-sign, or they give a sizable down payment to help them out. What's your advice to people? Let's say you're single, or dating, or newlyweds, that you no kids yet, and you're younger, you want to start getting into real estate. Where do you start?
So I have consultations all of the time, and I'm always having this conversation. The starter home is often the down payment for your forever home.
Wait,
Right.
say that again?
Your starter home is the down payment for your forever home.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't need the huge 4-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom colonial in Moorestown right away, right? I am selling homes now for home buyers who have doubled their equity from their rancher in Sicklerville to now a huge home in Sicklerville, right? Because they went ahead, they bought the starter home, they watched that appreciate, and now they're using that as a down payment for the home of their dreams. So yeah, you don't need to start, and I don't think it's smart to start in the huge expensive home if you don't have to.
It's almost like when you and I both have 2 kids.
Yeah.
And I know what goes into having those kids. If I was in a small starter home right now with the 2 kids, I get it.
Yeah.
It would be a lot. But back when, and our Alexa is always showing pictures of back in the day, pre-kids, and all the fun things we did, and didn't take advantage of. But I look back then and I say, we didn't need much. We could have slummed it, in maybe in a town or area that we typically didn't want to stay in long term, but investment wise, it would have been a smart play. Because look, I think that a lot of younger people right now that want to buy are just waiting and waiting and waiting till they have enough money, they have enough income, they get married, they then combine income and money, and then down the road they're thinking, I'm going to buy this big beautiful house. And that's why the average age right now of a first-time home buyer is 40, average age, which means there's people older than that buying their first house. And so I just think that it's so important for generational wealth, and just for you to establish yourself in some sort of way instead of just throwing money away for rent. One of the things that I talk a lot about is multifamilies. And you mentioned a few towns today that I have a feeling have a few multifamilies.
Absolutely.
So if you're watching or listening to this right now and you're thinking that, I don't even know where to start, I don't even know what to do, I think the first step is just a conversation with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you get a lot of clarity in a discovery call with me or with an agent, right? And that clarity sometimes is, oh, well, what I want is going to cost me $900,000. I didn't realize that, right? Whereas, a lot of my buyers are going into this knowing that they might not be in this home forever, but they'll be in it long enough to make some money, which is great. And I'm always walking through a home with my buyers. I'm never thinking forever home. I'm always thinking exit, right? Because I want them to be able to call me and sell their home for a profit, whether that's in 2 years or 10 years. Right?
And by the way, speaking of profit, a lot of other people also don't realize, so if you're making money on your house, you don't have to pay tax on it up to a certain amount.
Yeah.
So if you're single, I think it's $250,000 of profit you can make, no tax.
Absolutely.
If you're married, it's $500,000. So when you talk about that's your starter home is the deposit for your forever home, I would even go further and say, listen, if you really want to get into it, then buy a multifamily.
Yeah.
Even if you, in this particular case, I was talking to this buyer, even though he didn't qualify for a lot because of his income, he's younger, first job. Each unit you don't live in has rental income. That income, a percentage of that gets used as your income. So now you qualify for more. So you can afford a bigger house because there's more units. And the other thing is, whatever your mortgage payment is, now you have other people helping you pay that mortgage and you offset. So your payment now is way less than even renting.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. I mean, any buyer who does that is just genius. I had a client who did this in Collingswood, and not only did she buy a multifamily, she bought a multifamily with renters already placed.
amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
We met them multiple times, always paid on time, long term. So, yeah, she walked into this home making money.
Yeah. And I think that you're never good at anything until you try.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to manage properties. And then guess what? I bought one and got renters and found out how to, get leases signed. But even if you don't want to do that, I'm sure you can help them out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why you have a good real estate agent by your side.
Build a good team.
Yeah.
So we love South Jersey.
Love.
And for so many reasons, right? And I think that I've just heard a lot of people say recently that how unaffordable South Jersey is. And I just think it's interesting. I wanted to have you on because you work with a lot of people relocating to South Jersey. So what's the perspective that you see?
So, like we were talking before, I think a lot of people that have lived in South Jersey for a long time, it's a little jarring, right, to see, home prices creep up the way that they have. And, this isn't just a South Jersey thing, right? Home prices have been going up all over the country, right? But it's a little jarring if you've lived here and you're like, oh, my parents bought their house for $32,000, But, if you talk to someone from North Jersey, the prices it's incomparable. I mean, what you can get in South Jersey versus what you can get in North Jersey, two completely different things. And so I have a lot of North Jersey clients who, they start, browsing down south and they're like, I can get this for this much money.
It's like it's on sale.
Yeah, like it's on sale and still, live in a beautiful community with good schools and, all the amenities that I need. So, yeah, I do. I've made a relocation guide because I have so many people reaching out to me about what towns, might suit their lifestyle. And not even just North Jersey. Philly, right? I've got a lot of clients who, have started families and they're unfortunately outgrowing. I love Philly. I lived in Philly for years, but those row homes are small, right?
It's like that rooftop deck is cool, but when you have two kids, they need a little more space.
Exactly. So, they're not really baby proof those homes in Philly. So I do have a lot of clients that are trying to come over the bridge and, come over and have that suburban life with their kids.
So I know that you answer a lot of questions on social media. You make yourself very accessible. You're constantly going back and forth. Is there a question that you haven't gotten? Is there something that you wish people would ask you about that would give them a perspective or better perspective on being you, an agent, and representing them?
Yeah, I wish home buyers would ask more about what goes into negotiating their offers.
Interesting.
Yeah. A lot of people think it's just about the price. The price is important. But this was a huge negotiation win that I've had recently, right? Buyers love this home. There's multiple offers, and they want to win, right? They want to win the home. So first thing I do, I call the agent. I get into what the seller needs. That's so important. There's two people in this transaction. The seller under contract for new construction needed to close in 30 days and builders are not kind, right? They're not going to wait.
It's going to cost them money.
It's going to cost them money if this goes past their 30-day deadline. So we weren't the highest offer, but we were the least stressful offer because it's not just about the price. There's so many other terms that make up your offer that sellers are looking at. And I wish more buyers asked about that and went in more prepared, knowing those things, right?
Wow, what a great point. I don't think people realize when they go into it. I mean, they're looking at houses with their agent and they're very involved up until that point, but when the offer goes in and the negotiation happens, they're really out of it, right?
Yeah. They're it's hard because they're sitting back and they're being patient and they need you to do your job, and your job is to get them this house with the terms that they've agreed on, and relationships really come into play here, right? I had 4 offers accepted last weekend. 3 out of 4 of them, I have an amazing relationship with the seller's agents. And that really helped at the end of the day. That helped them win the home.
Well, think about it. So you were on a panel. What was that event, by the way? It was.
I was on the Further Together panel. It's a real brokerage event that Matt Curcio hosts.
And it was all women, right?
All women, yep.
So imagine, why do you choose someone like Nicole? Well, she's up on a panel speaking, teaching, and she doesn't get paid to do that. And you're in front of all these other realtors. And if you put an offer in on one of their listings, are they going to be more inclined to accept your offer or someone they've never heard of, someone that's brand new, or worse yet, someone from another part of the state or
Absolutely.
from Pennsylvania, or just someone that doesn't know the area that well?
Absolutely.
Doesn't mean, they have to present everything to the seller. So it's not like they're purposely, shunning anybody, but all things being equal, let's say there are 4 offers, 5 offers in, relatively the same. Maybe one's a little bit higher, but they know they've worked with you before. It's going to be smooth. Then they're more inclined to then accept your offer.
Absolutely. I pride myself on being a communicative agent. I pride myself on making sure that the transaction can be as smooth as it can be. And I create these relationships with other agents because at the end of the day, we have to work together to get to the finish line and do what's best for our seller or our buyers. And we all want the same thing, and we all want everyone to be happy at the end of the day. So I pride myself on creating these relationships, not just for myself, for my clients, and to make it a positive experience for everyone.
So I'm going to get on my soapbox for a second here because you brought up such an amazing point of choosing the right person. There's a great hashtag. It's who you work with matters, and a lot of professionals from all walks of life use it. But in real estate, it's so important. But the problem is most people are so transactional right now. Think about it. I mean, you want to buy something, it's so easy to shop that same thing on Walmart, Amazon, and now with ChatGPT, you can just, hey, ChatGPT, find me this, at the cheapest place. Now you can even get promo codes. Have you done that, by the way? Like, hey, find me promo code for this website.
Good to know.
It works. So you get like 20% off.
Good to know.
But I think they take that same mindset with real estate when they're buying a house, and they're thinking, who's going to be the cheapest real estate agent? Now, that for the most part, I think even with all the media attention of the commissions and all that, I think for the most part, people get the value of hiring someone like you that's experienced, that's going to be able to negotiate them a good deal.
It's the difference between getting the house and not getting the house.
Literally.
And
unfortunately, I think some people have to get burned before they understand that, and then they appreciate someone like you.
Absolutely.
And then you have then mortgage, who you're going to get who's going to be your lender, and I think that ends up being a situation where it's less important to them until they get burned, and sometimes it's too late. So again, for someone that deals with and has dealt with so many different lenders, what's your opinion on who to choose, and why is that also important?
I educate my buyers up front in the initial consultation with them. Not only is your real estate agent important, your lender is important. I just had this conversation yesterday with a buyer, right? You want to go with someone who has a local recognizable name. When you're putting your offers in, you want the seller's agent to go, oh, Matt, Boyce, Maximus, I've worked with them before. The deal went amazing. It was so smooth. I would love to work with them again. I'm going to relay this to my seller and tell my seller, I know that Maximus can get this closed. And at the end of the day, that's what's most important to the seller. They need to close, right? Maybe they have somewhere to go. Maybe, they are divorcing or there's a ton of reasons people sell, but selling a house is a huge deal. It's not easy, and they're selling because they want to get it done. So if I am putting in offers with a local recognizable mortgage company backing me, I'm going in, so confident because I know that that offer is probably going to get accepted if all terms align.
Love it. Not saying that you can't get a mortgage from an online lender. Not saying that other bigger banks can't do the mortgage. It's just your odds. What are your odds?
Absolutely.
And the odds of that going smooth versus a local lender going smooth. We're not the only local lender. There's plenty of really good people. This is their career. They live in these neighborhoods. They're invested. Their reputation is at stake. They are going to bend over backwards, including picking up the phone nights, weekends, holidays, whatever it is, to make sure that you close on time. So that's a great point that you brought up.
Absolutely. And I'm not going to ever work with a lender who isn't going to call the seller's agent as soon as I put that offer in and say, hey, I got this. Don't worry. We're closing. Nothing to worry about.
Hey, Nicole, thank you so much for being on today. This is awesome.
Thank you for having me. I could talk about real estate all day.
And if you're still watching this, just go ahead and comment bourbon, and I'll send you a free bottle of bourbon. Just kidding. No, don't do that. But that definitely did help. Cheers. Cheers. Thanks for being on. And until next time, this is The Arena. And of course, if you need anything at all, you can reach out to Nicole Neff at the Neff Group. And she is Nikki Sells NJ on Instagram. And of course, just Google her. She's everywhere. And of course, you need anything on the lending side, just go to maxloans.com. Thanks, everybody.